at the beginning, immediately after the plantation, the more leaves, something like this, you will have in the backside. Yeah? Now I would take as a rule all the branches which are not growing the length of a scissor at least, I would stimulate, especially for Gala, because Gala tends to grow less in the lower area and much more in the tops. You can see it also over here in the tops. We have a good fresh growing. Like here also the new growing for the main leader is quite strong. So especially for Gala it's important to stimulate the basic branches to have some fresh growing also there, and the top we shall keep it. Yeah, so have a good balance, good growing in the low, and not too much growing in the upper area. Yeah? So this one, if you can, I would bundle it down. Yeah? You have the possibility to do that. These ones we should go for one line, cut into the 1-year-old branch to stimulate to have fresh growing.
Okay.
Yeah? Same over here. Let's go for one line and always cut into the 1-year-old wood. This one will be bundled down. Yeah.
So, but won't this thicken up next year?
In the base, I would not take out too much, just if it's too crowdy. Yeah. So we have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 basic branches. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't want more,
okay,
but we don't want less.
Okay.
Yeah. So 4, 5, 6 is perfect. And as you see, this direction one, this direction, this direction, this direction, this direction. So it's well covered. Yeah. So every direction a little bit.
Considering the thickness of this will stay.
Hmm?
This will stay.
I would keep it.
Okay.
At least for this year, we can for sure keep it.
Okay.
Usually we say if the thickness of a branch is thicker than half of the size of the main leader, or let's say 30, 40, 50% of the thickness of the main leader, then I would do it out. I would cut it out. Yeah? Okay. And every year I do not more than 3 cuts, 3 big cuts, 2, 3 big cuts on a younger tree. I mean, on an older one, then it's different. Once we have this diameter and once we have reached the height. But right now, I would say we'll see it later on in Red Delicious. There we'll do some bigger cuts. Over here, it's not needed right now. Over here, probably then we'll do. But the rest looks quite fine. Yeah. So that's exactly what we want to have. Some fresh growing.
Okay.
Here we have a nice ending bud. We'll bring some fruits, or we'll bring a fruit, then we'll have it like this, and then we'll have some fruits the coming year also behind. Yeah? Generally, the steeper a branch is, the more it grows. The flatter it is, the more fruit we will have. Yeah? Less vigorous, more fruits, more cropping. Yeah? So you will, on a branch like this, you will for sure not have any fruit buds. Yeah? If you bend it down, then you will see that you will have some reaction. Yeah.
What do I do to stimulate this?
To get a new growing, I mean over here, that's not a big problem, I would say. Yeah, we have 20, 30 centimeters which are naked. Yeah, but if you're getting more volume, it's even good to have something a little bit naked to let enter the sun. Yeah, the sun is really important to get a good quality. And if you make it too crowdy, you just have problems with the treatments and later on. Eh? But if you really want to have a really long naked part, then when you see in springtime when the buds are getting swollen, yeah, you can just go over here and immediately over the branch just take a knife or a scissor and just make it like this. Yeah? This makes that the nutrients and the power cannot go up, and so it remains in this branch, which makes it then starting.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, that's what you told me.
So over here, I think we can also stimulate the top, because we want to grow up,
okay,
and the rest looks fine. Eventually, we take away this one because it's a concurrent to the main leader.
It competes with that.
Yeah, exactly. But the rest over here I would not touch. Eventually you can cut this one a little bit back to have it in the right length. Yeah, but that's it. Next one. Over here we see we have a good growing, so I would not touch the top.
Okay.
It's already fine. Yeah, we don't have to push too much. And then let's look again at the base. We can see, not so much growing, not so much fresh growing. So always stimulate. And stimulation is always done by cutting into the 1-year-old wood.
Okay.
This one I can take out completely. And if I take it out, always leave a stamp, 2-3 centimeters, to have a good reaction and a fresh growing in the coming year.
Should the cut be straight or should it go?
Generally, if you cut it like this, the reaction is a little bit flatter.
Okay.
Yeah. So, would be better to cut it a little bit more like this. Okay, so first I give a look at the tree. Yeah. So I check how is the structure, which branches are too strong, how is the growing. So when I look at the tree, I immediately see this branch is really strong, so I will take it completely out. This one is really strong, take it completely out. Then I would not do, like over here in Gala, I would not do more than 2, maximum 3 big cuts. So let's stop now and then later on we will see. Yeah? So basic branches. This one eventually, do it like this. Over here we have a fork, but we just want 1 leader, just go in one direction. Over here you see good the reaction you had. Cut out, left the stamp of 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, and that's perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what we want to have. Not more, not less. That's perfect.
And do we need to tip it?
Also over here we have a strong growing. In case we can tip it, and that's it. Yeah, don't do too much. Those 2-3 big cuts. The other ones we will have to do in the coming year. You will see how the reaction is, and then you can do the rest of the pruning in the coming year.
So the tipping, like we are here, in case it is 2 feet, I remove about 24 inches. I remove about 6 inches, 8 inches.
It depends a little bit. Now we have a really strong growing. I think we should at least leave it to reach the last wire so you can fix it.
Okay.
So if we cut about 10-15 centimeters above it that we can fix it, it's good. Don't go down too much, because we have a good growing, we have a nice growing, so you want to continue with the growing. Okay, so next one. Let's look at the tree. See again we have some really strong branches. This one is quite strong. Take it out. This one is strong as well and makes just shadow for the lower branches. Take it out.
Keeping 2 in the same direction.
Yeah, we'll see how many we need. That's quite low, so eventually we can take it out as well. Yeah. But it's now we have already done the 3 big cuts, so more I would not do. Also this one, it's too strong for this area. Makes just shadow for the lower ones. That's it. Yeah? So again we have the base. We have those 4, 5, 6 basic branches. Not more. Over here we have done 2, 3 big cuts. Not more, so we will have some fresh growing in the coming years. And for those we will look in the next year which ones we can take out and which one of those we can keep. And stimulation of the top.
More of this?
We want more of those. This one will be an ending bud, will make a fruit, yeah, but it will remain like this. It will not grow.
Maybe throws one more bow shoot from here. This much.
Can be that usually when you have the flower, one will make a branch, and then it can be that next to the flower, which makes an apple, there will start one. This can be.
So we don't need to stimulate these. Just let
Really just stimulate in the base, not the upper part.
So this also would have to be tipped?
No, don't touch it. Here you will have, over here it's not sure yet.
How do you make sure that it's fruiting bud or no?
It's usually the fruit buds, they're bigger, rounder, and the buds which are making a new branch, they're really they have a spit. They are like the top of a sword. How do you say it?
Okay. It's pointy.
Point, yeah.
So this
Exactly.
will be a fruiting bud, right?
This will be a fruiting bud, yeah. And that's it. It's nothing special.
Very strong tree. You should cut all of it.
Bending is okay. Bending, so we don't have to do anything bending next year.
No. If you have branches like this, it's not required to bend them down. Absolutely not. Here, just go in one direction. This one is really strong as well. Okay, this one we keep it because we already have done 4 or 5 big cuts, which is quite a lot. But sometimes you have to do it if you just have 2 strong branches, and you still can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 really nice basic branches, and that's more than enough. And also over here we see we have enough branches. Okay. Okay, so it's really not magic. It's really, you look at the tree. You say, okay, I have 1, 2, 3 branches which are really strong, which are too strong, which are too steep or something. Take them out, leave a stamp, then stimulate the basic branches, stimulate in case the top. Yeah. And then you look again at the tree, and if you say, no, there are 1, 2 branches which I have to correct something, you can do that, but I would not touch too much. Don't do too many cuts. Branch like this, don't bend it down, it just makes shadow for the lower trees, for the lower branches. We want branches like this, smaller ones. Yeah? The big ones like this, don't bend them down. Yeah? And this one, you don't have to bend them down, because here will be an ending bud and it will have a fruit, so it will be like this, so it's not needed. Yeah? So bending down, if you want to do it, then just do it in the base, where you have really steep and strong growing. In Red Delicious it makes sense. In Gala I would not even do it.
Aren't there too many branches here?
Yeah. Also over here, that's concurrence. Yeah. You don't have to put it down. I would cut it out. Yeah. Stamp again. This one, yeah, I can keep it for this year to make some fruits. These ones I will stimulate to have some fresh growing. Also this one, yeah, I can keep it, but I would take it out, it's better. So now we have done 2 cuts. This one I think we have to cut out the next year. On this one you will have a reaction, more or less like that. That would be perfect. Yeah? So a branch like this, which makes some fruits, perfect.
If in the early season it is already this much big, then we are worried that it will become too strong. So in the summer should we cut it back so that it stays calm and stays smaller?
You can cut. You can make
See,
a summer pruning.
Like we made a cut,
Mhm.
and if it goes big like this,
Mhm.
we won't have a terminal bud, right?
Yeah.
Fruit here.
No,
In
this
the
one
summer,
not.
if I cut it again back,
Then it depends when you do in summer, because if you do it in August, September, immediately before the harvest, then you can do a summer pruning. But if you're doing it really in summer, like June, July, it's too early, because then they will restart, and that's something we don't want to have.
So it has to be in
It has to be a few weeks before the harvest, when the ending buds are already closed and the tree will not grow anymore.
so we should not touch the leader of any.
The leader, I would touch it if it's like this one, yeah, if we want to have more growing. But here we see we already have a strong growing, so I would not
When
touch
we
it.
lose the leaves, this will all be naked. So what if we cut it back a little bit to have some branch?
If you can do, yeah, it's not a problem. You will have some fresh growing. You will have probably more power in this area, so probably some of the buds will start growing. Yeah, so probably you will have a reaction
'Cause
and the
otherwise
fresh
we
growing.
have to do notching of all the leaves if we don't touch them.
The thing is, too much going back, it doesn't make sense that much. Yeah. So you have to find your own way, what's right for your system, for your production. Yeah. I would not touch the ones which are really
Strong.
pushing too much, because then this one is getting really strong, and you just have growing into this. Yeah. Because we need also some power in the lower areas. So the rest, yeah. Stimulation, I would say, let's do it just in the first 30-40 centimeters, really just the basic branches. Branches which are in this area or upwards, I would not touch them. Yeah? Or you cut them out completely, you make them just to go in one line, yeah, but don't touch them, don't stimulate.
Should we take out some of them because this one is becoming fat?
This one is
Then
fat,
we have
yeah.
two here.
And so here now we have the two big cuts. Yeah. More I would not do. The rest I would do
Next year.
always in the coming years. Yeah. Important is also, once the trees are getting older, you can do. It's just a sample right now, but you can do like this. Yeah. So we'll have some fruits here, some fruits here, some fruits here. We have a fresh growing also. Yeah. So we want something fresh, and we want something a little bit older. It's a bit simple right now because the tree is still young, but we want some fresh growing every year, so some renewal. So 1-2 cuts completely out every year is good to have some new growing. Keep the other ones for cropping. Yeah? So important to have a balance between growing and cropping. Also over here, if you think that's too much which is naked, you can pass. But do it once you see the buds are getting swollen, once the buds are getting bigger.
Little late. Silver tip.
Yeah.
Sharwai की question थी. What for this? Should I let it stay?
What is the expected fruit load for these ones?
Yeah, for this size of tree, how much?
We're in the second year, so it depends a little bit on the growing, but I think you can keep 2, 3, 4 kilo. It depends. Yeah,
6 into 4. What, 20 fruits?
yeah, 20, 25 should be. I think 20 we can keep. Yeah.
You're talking about the second year?
It's more important, let's say the first 3-4 years, it's more important to give the tree the right structure. Yeah? The fruiting is for sure important, but it's important to give it the right structure, to have the right production the later years. Yeah? To create a good base on which we can work for the coming 15-20 years. That's important. Yeah? If then you make just 1 kilo, or if you make 3 kilo, that's not the important thing, and I think that's not the thing why we are doing it in this way, because if you're thinking just for money, then it's important to really to make a base and think on long term. That's important. Yeah? So if you divide here 15 fruits, 20 fruits on it, I think there should be space for that. 10, 15, 20. You will see then how, when it's in full power, you will see how many you can keep.
So you get this kind of growing in your areas, or is it too much, more?
We are not getting that much growing in the top. In the base, usually we do stimulate more, so we have usually a good fresh growing. So usually we have something like this in the base. But in the upper part, we are not reaching such a strong growing. At least not where we are replanting. In fresh soils, yes, but for replantation, not.
This is almost a fresh soil. I mean, they had the big trees,
Mm-hmm.
but they were far apart, not so close.
Mm-hmm.
And there were apples here, almonds, peach, pear, everything.
Okay, so everything a little bit.
So in the first year, do you apply nutrition in your trees?
You can give something, yeah. I mean,
But if it is growing this much, should we do? Does it need?
if you have that much growing, I would not give too much, because just growing is not the not a good thing. Yeah? I would do the fertigation, giving fertilizers, always depending on the nutrition schedule of the soil. So if you have possibility to do a analysis, that's the best way to. That's the best way
The
to.
leaf analysis as well as the soil. In the leaf analysis, we had a slightly lower level of calcium in it,
Okay.
so that I did supplement it.
Yeah, the leaf analysis is something which shows the availability in that moment when you do it.
Yeah.
The soil analysis is more for planning on long term. Yeah? The leaf analysis is, yeah, it gives some
Indication.
it's indications, yeah, right, but not really on long term.